You ever stop eating?
I'm hungry.
Are any of your favorite Harry Potter lines the same as the cast's? From iconic catchphrases and hilarious quotes to emotional moments, the Harry Potter cast will never forget some of their best lines from the series. Whether it's their characters or another's, can you guess which lines are the most beloved by these Harry Potter stars?
I think so. I know so.
Emma Watson's favorite line from the movies is a Hermione classic.
I'm going to bed before either of you come up with another clever idea to get us killed, or worse, expelled.
It gave the 11-year-old actress immense joy to be able to say such an iconic quote that perfectly summed up her character.
And it just seemed like the wittiest, cleverest line.
Rupert Grint's favorite line was more like a catchphrase, and you can probably guess which one it was.
I say bloody a lot. No, I always got a thrill from saying bloody because it was kind of like a rude word.
Director David Yates also revealed one of his favorite Ron lines.
You shouted, you're chasing Draco. That's my girlfriend, you numpties.
While it's hard for him to pick one favorite line, Daniel Radcliffe really enjoyed certain scenes in The Order of the Phoenix, especially being with Gary Oldman and exploring Harry's relationship with Sirius.
That was my favorite one, probably to film as well.
Tom Felton thoroughly enjoyed playing a bratty daddy's boy.
He's being carried away after being attacked by Buckbeak. My father will hear about this.
Though Draco does whine as he's being carried away, that line was actually cut from this scene. But Tom had plenty of other opportunities to say that exact line throughout the series.
My father will hear about this!
And it's one he's asked to repeat most often, as well as the name of Draco's nemesis.
I get asked to say Potter a lot.
Potter, 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 Potter.
Evanna Lynch has more than one favorite line. One of them is an iconic Luna line.
I like "You're just as sane as I am" because it just gives no comfort at all to whoever she says it to.
Her second favorite line isn't spoken by her, but it's one of Dumbledore's most powerful quotes.
Of course it's happening in your head, but why does that mean it's not real?
She thinks it's one of the most motivational quotes for artists.
And imagine them, and if you believe in them hard enough, you can make a movie or a book or something.
Bonnie Wright's favorite Ginny line was actually an improvised one from her very first scene in the Harry Potter universe.
Good luck to Harry. That was the beginning, and I ended on the same set, the end of the journey.
We never realized this was such a full circle moment, but Bonnie's Harry Potter journey ending right where it began just makes the experience even more magical.
Hello.
Matthew Lewis's favorite line is one that perfectly captures Neville Longbottom's streak of bad luck.
When he's hanging from the chandelier and he says, "Why is it always me?"
The line sums up the awkwardness of his character in the early films, before he develops a skill for heroics. Alan Rickman had trouble picking a single line, but filming the last movie was what hit the hardest, especially when the audience finally gets to see the real Severus Snape.
The last film, it was very cathartic because you were finally able to see who he was, always.
Another of his favorite moments was finally putting away the wands and getting real with other characters, especially that final scene with Voldemort.
Rafe and I had a scene where you just thought, well, finally here's just a couple of actors talking to each other.
The Phelps twins have a few favorite lines in the movies, and just like their characters, they all have to do with the Weasley twins' spectacular sense of humor. James's first favorite line let him live out his childhood dream of talking back to his mother.
I'd be, honestly, woman, you call yourself our mother.
His second favorite line has to do with the twins' love of sneaking around.
And my second one would be mischief managed, which I think sums up the characters pretty well.
Oliver's favorite line has to do with being an annoying older brother.
Mine's just morning. The best way to stop two people getting together I think I've ever heard.
David Thewlis makes the perfect Remus Lupin, and he likes to poke fun at one of the words he said the most often in his first Harry Potter film.
Which is ridiculous. And my other favourite line is boggart.
If that's the case, then he must have really enjoyed all his Dementor defeating lessons with Harry.
Ridiculous.
Ralph Fiennes' favorite line as Voldemort is one of the series' most dramatic moments, and the point where things got a lot darker in the Harry Potter universe.
I can touch you now. That's my favorite line.
Is this one of your favorite Voldemort lines too? Julie Walters' favorite line as Molly Weasley is so good it often gets a round of applause.
My favorite one has got to be, "Not my daughter, you."
The scene is definitely Mrs. Weasley's most mama bear moment in the entire series. Michael Gambon has tons of wonderful lines to choose from as Albus Dumbledore, but his favorite is simple and straight to the point.
It's when I appear as a ghost on the station platform, and I say Harry.
The emotion in this scene does most of the talking.
And I felt like crying.
Knowing Michael almost cried makes it even more bittersweet.
You're a wizard, Harry.
While Robbie Coltrane has trouble remembering some of Hagrid's lines from the very first film, his favorite comes from a scene in Diagon Alley where he explains why the young wizard is so famous.
You're Harry Potter. You're the one who got away from you-know-who.
In the movie, it's slightly different.
That's why you're famous. That's why everybody knows your name. You're the boy who lived.
Natalia Tena had a lot of fun with Nymphadora Tonks, and her favorite line is a perfect introduction to the character's fiery ways.
I like it when she says, don't call me Nymphadora, and gets really angry at Mad-Eye Moody.
She also loves that Tonks' hair changes color in that scene, giving us a taste of what the powerful witch is truly capable of. Helen McCrory's favorite line was one that gave Narcissa Malfoy a true moment of redemption.
The moment that she stands up in the Forbidden Forest and says, dead.
It's a great moment for her character and one of her very last lines in the entire series. Warwick Davis played both Griphook and Professor Flitwick, but his favorite line comes straight from the Hogwarts professor, and it's a spell we've always wished we could learn.
Way back in number 1, as Professor Flitwick, Wingardium Leviosa, I think for me would be the one.
It's a line fans ask him to repeat all the time.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
He also had a second favorite line that was one of the Dark Lords, and he can't help but love it because it was just such a momentous line in the series.
Voldemort proclaims Harry Potter is dead.
Jason Isaac's favorite line comes from one of his scenes, but his most memorable moment is not what Lucius Malfoy said, but one of Harry's comebacks. I turned around unexpectedly to him and I said,
"Let us hope Mr. Potter will always be around to save the day."
And he said,
"Don't worry, I will be."
Both of these lines were completely improvised, so it's easy to see why an experienced actor like Jason was so impressed with a young Daniel Radcliffe.
He stayed that impressive ever since.
Donal Gleeson didn't have many lines as Bill Weasley, but his favorite is one that delivered tragic news.
I'd say Mad Eye's dead, and that was my dad, so that was good fun.
Nick Moran played Scabier, one of the sinister snatchers that captures Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Playing such a creepy character was fun, and his favorite line definitely sends chills down our spines.
Hello, beautiful.
That was it. That's the line that I signed. I did that when I get autographs. I creeped quite a lot of people out with that.
Helena Bonham Carter hasn't revealed her favorite line as Bellatrix Lestrange, but she loved improvising.
I keep on trying to give myself more lines.
She even warned her co-stars to be prepared for some embellishment.
Just let me improvise.